Could a radio license law become the new cash cow for the Zimbabwean government? Or is it rather a parasitic move, symptomatic of a government always on the prowl for opportunities to milk its citizens dry? Today's discourse hovers around the simmering debate between the government and the opposition over this proposed legislation. In the blue corner, we have the Information Minister, who recently revealed that Cabinet had given the green light to principles of a bill that, if passed, would make it mandatory for motorists to buy radio licenses before renewing their vehicle licenses. The aim? To generate over $73 million annually for the Zimbabwe Broadcasting Corporation. In the red corner, we have the opposition. They view this move as an attempt to bind citizens unlawfully. They argue that cabinet principles are not law until they go through public hearings as a bill, and every citizen's views must be considered. They further insist that Parliament must debate these principles as a bill and either pass or reject them. But wait, the government has a counter. The Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services insists that the government's position has been misunderstood. He explains that Cabinet's approval of amendments to Acts of Parliament is significant, but it does not automatically mean that the proposed changes take immediate effect. He emphasized that when the Cabinet passes principles to a bill, it signifies a legislative intent, but it is neither the act itself nor the finalized bill. The journey from a principle to a law is a marathon, not a sprint. It involves a meticulous process of drafting, scrutiny by the Cabinet Committee on Legislation, and the full Cabinet. Then the Attorney General tidies up the draft, considering Cabinet's input. The bill is then gazetted, scrutinized by the Parliamentary Legal Committee for compliance with the Constitution, followed by public consultations. The bill is then debated in Parliament, receives Senate input, and finally, presidential assent. So where does this leave the average Zimbabwean motorist? Caught in the crossfire of a debate that could change the landscape of vehicle ownership and public broadcasting in the country. The question remains, is this the dawn of a new era or a slippery slope to overtaxation?